on what's left in his rookie deal. The total, more than $100 million, record money for a running back. With the way that NFL contracts work, the guaranteed portion of the contract is most important, and in that metric, Zeke tops the list as well. So let's go through it quickly. Elliott is guaranteed to make more than $50 million through the life of the deal. That's the most ever for a running back. The Rams' Todd Gurley had been the market setter at $45 million. Meanwhile, Le'Veon Bell, who actually signed after Gurley, earned significantly less guaranteed money at $35 million, and that's part of why these negotiations were so tough, with the Cowboys arguing that Bell reset the market at a lower rate. But Elliott stands firm, and boy, did he ever get paid. The newly minted $100 million man says it was tough to be isolated from his team, but he got a 6 a.m. wake-up call today letting him know the deal was done. He signed it, was at a 7:30 meeting, then practiced, and says he'll be ready to go Sunday against the Giants.
But honestly, what helped me get through is the support of the guys in this building. Just communicating with them every day, and them just supporting me. That meant a lot.
It was great to see him out there. Seeing him in the building, he just brings energy to the building and to the group. So we're really fortunate to have him back.
And another note about that support that Elliott mentioned, he said he had teammates telling him not to come back until he had a new deal, and he says that really helped. And I was able to find out one of those teammates was DeMarcus Lawrence, who signed a 5-year, $105 million deal in the offseason. So you guys...
Hard stance on the gun debate. Koehler has asked customers not to openly carry guns in its stores. And the announcement comes one day after Walmart did the same. But those are two of the biggest grocery chains in the country, and both companies are asking lawmakers to pass legislation strengthening background checks on gun buyers.
Well, today we're obliterated entire communities in the Bahamas. Just look at the destruction. Also killed 7 people in its path. And now the storm is crawling up the U.S. coastline, threatening millions of people right here in the U.S. Elizabeth Kerr is in New Smyrna Beach, Florida.
From Georgia to the Carolinas and Virginia, the race is on to stay ahead of the storm. With authorities warning the time to evacuate is now.
Don't try to ride it out. It's not worth putting your life at risk or endangering first responders who might have to save you.
The big concern, areas prone to flooding could be fighting several feet of storm surge.
As we saw a week ago, an 8.5 foot tide in Charleston means streets start getting flooded.
Dorian's rough surf already eroding the beach in Cape Canaveral, Florida, and the storm's surge carving feet out of the dunes. The heavy wind and rain toppling trees and power lines knocking out power to more than 11,000 customers, but most now back online. President Trump receiving another briefing on Dorian today.
We got lucky in Florida, very, very lucky indeed. Hopefully we're going to be lucky. It depends on what happens with South Carolina and North Carolina.
This as the U.S. continues its relief efforts in the Bahamas, where Dorian left behind so much destruction. The Coast Guard rescuing dozens on the ground, while back in Florida, volunteers are doing what they can to help.
These people in the
But it's concerns over the district's handling of South Oak Cliff High School's renovations that had community members meeting this week.
We're dealing with a major equity concern.
Dallas ISD's District 5 trustee, Maxie Johnson, is among the school's alumni, parents, and other community members speaking out about frustrations.
Why are you not talking to our community?
Many claiming there's been a lack of transparency and communication between the school district and residents over the renovations. That meeting got heated at times as people asked for direct answers from Dallas ISD administrators.
Well, I'm going to let y'all talk to them. We've been keeping everybody from coming down thing.
Community members say they're still concerned over the school's new design, lingering safety issues, spending, and deadline delays.
We promised the community that we will be back in the building in January, and right now it doesn't look like we're going to be back in the building in January as we promised the community.
Dallas ISD administrators told the group moving forward there will be more inclusive meetings with the school's stakeholders. Trustee Johnson says that's what the community expects and deserves.
We care about all of our kids, and you have a host of people that are saying enough is enough. We want equity in the Southern sector.
In South Oak Cliff, I'm Devon Fernandez.
Department of Health now say they have 21 possible cases of people who used e-cigarettes getting lung disease in this state alone and across the country. State of Michigan now banning flavored vaping products. Saima Chowdhury shows us how.
Vaping is terrible.
Those against e-cigarettes are happy to see Michigan leading the way with this ban. Governor Gretchen Whitmer has been concerned about teens using non-traditional nicotine products. To make her stance clear, she signed the bill this past June, making it illegal to sell e-cigarettes to minors. She said flavored e-cigarettes that taste like bubblegum or Fruit Loops attracts teens.
Really happy that someone is going to take the lead on something that harm our children.
This move comes after a recent outbreak of respiratory illnesses associated with vaping. Whitmer is getting support from many folks, including Congresswoman Rashida Tlaib, who took to Twitter. But others, including the American Vaping Association, are against the ban, saying it'll put shops out of business and drive those who vape to smoke these kinds of cigarettes. We did talk to some folks against the move.
If we never made any more flavored e-cigarettes or vape pens, I'd be thrilled.
This woman is visiting Detroit from San Francisco. The ironic thing about that? Well, San Francisco was the first city to ban e-cigarettes.
It seems like they're mostly marketed at kids, and no kids need to be smoking.